What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today, per request, we're rebuilding the Green Bay Packers. This is the second time, but the first time we did it was before the start of the season and a lot of other stuff. There's a bunch of other stuff going on. Now that we've got to look at the team, we've got to look at the injuries. We see how the rookies are playing, and we've had some players go up and down. We're going to hop back in, rebuild the Green Bay Packers. And before we get too far into this one, if y'all could go ahead and smash that like button down below, hit that subscribe button. We're slowly moving towards 200 subscribers, and I can't wait to get there. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see any more videos like this. Let me know down in the comments if there is an NFL team or a college team that you want to see rebuilt, and I will try to get to it as fast as I can. Been a little slow lately. I was sick for a little bit, and then we had the holidays, so we're trying to get back in our groove. Now, to get into this roster, the offense looks decent. I feel like we're definitely better on in real life versus what Madden has us as. Josh Jacobs should be a superstar dev player. He's a superstar. I feel the same way about Jordan Love, but I'll take the 86 overall. Romeo Doubs, we saw how his absence negatively affected the passing game kind of a lot. Jaden Reed has been, showed sights of being incredible this year. Christian Watson, his ceiling is superstar, but he just can't play at that level consistently. But he has improved this year. I think this year was a lot better. Tucker Kraft is incredible. The old Kraft Yak and Cheese, he's awesome. Zach Tom is awesome. Feel like Sean Ryan is really good. Josh Myers is played pretty decent this year. And then, of course, Elton Jenkins and Rasheed Walker. The tackle spot, even though you're getting rid of Bakhtiari, is in a really good spot. Rasheed and Zach Tom have been incredible. The offense is pretty good. We don't need a lot here. Now, defensively, this is where stuff changes, and I don't know why. All right, so I can't tell y'all why it happens, but for some reason, Edgerrin Cooper just never gets on the field even. He comes out here and there, but he doesn't quite get it. I don't know why you would have... Okay, there we go. We'll fix that a little bit. All right, so we made a change. We gave Evan Williams star dev. That he deserves it. He's played incredible, and he's going to be a part of Green Bay secondary. If I didn't give him star dev and I bench him, he's just going to fade away in the distance. So I want to try and build him up a good bit there. We obviously need a left outside linebacker. Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker can do in the middle. Xavier McKinney, one of the best safeties in the league. Eric Stokes, he's gotten hated on a lot this year, and he has made some bad plays. But I think he has also been... He's trying to get acquainted, right? He just had coming back off the long injury and trying to learn a new defense. We're going to go ahead and give ourselves the force win here because Green Bay won in real life. The first shutout of the season, actually. And speaking of playoff time, that's where we are. We find ourselves in the wild card going against the Rams. End up as the 2 seed in our division, or the second best team in our division, the 5 seed overall. Well, normally I do not hop in year 1, but being this is Green Bay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and hop in. All right, well, we are going to go to the end of the game. Hop in if we have to. As the Rams are on the board first, we put up 3. Can we? Okay, 10-7, 10-14, 17-14. All right, this is where we're gonna hop in. I figured it'd be. Oh, they called the timeout. 3rd and 7. We don't really want to. All right, hit Romeo Doubs on that slant. Jordan Love loves to do that. And now we just take a knee and we win this game. Why Madden hasn't implemented what EA does with college football, where when you take the knee, it runs the clock out, is kind of dumb to me. But whatever. Why did we had an injury timeout? All right, well, we're going to hit Tucker Kraft, walk into the end zone, go up by 10. And that does it, as they did score, but we still win by 3. Jordan Love, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, 46 yards and a touchdown. Not great average. Romeo Doubs, 76 yards, a touchdown. Tucker Kraft with 25 and a touchdown. Defensively, Keyshawn Nixon leading the team in tackles. No sacks. Any TFLs? No TFLs. An interception for Jair Alexander and 1 for Xavier McKinney. Well, in the divisional round, we have a divisional opponent in the Minnesota Vikings. We're going to try to keep rolling this. Go to the Super Bowl if we can. All right, we're going to the end of the game. Let's see if we can win. As Minnesota is on the board first. They've stopped us actually fairly well. We finally get 3. We tie at 10-10. Can we get rolling? All right, time to play. It's 4th and 10. We got to have a first down here. This is not great. All right, well, we do get the first down. We're going to call a timeout there to Tucker. We want to send this game to overtime, really. That is our hope. We're going to hit Tucker Kraft again over the middle. Let the clock run a little bit. I tried to step up there, but it just wouldn't let me. Wicks. Down to the 10-yard line. I didn't hit the timeout button there. I don't know why we called our last timeout. As we hit Josh Jacobs and he finds his way into the end zone. This should end it. Or not end it, but tie it. Give us the opportunity to go into overtime. All right, we're going to try to user Isaiah McDuffie here. Oh, and we get the user interception. We might not have to go to overtime here. We don't have a timeout, so I don't really want to run the ball. I'd rather throw it. So we can run out of bounds like that. Kind of get to the sticks and get out of bounds. But if Christian Watson... Nope. We got Romeo Doubs there. He's out of bounds. We got 13 seconds, so I'm going to try to hit the end zone here. And we hit Kraft, so we don't even need to kick the field goal. Exactly what we wanted to do. Score with 10 seconds left. The PAT is iced. Oh, we missed the PAT, so that's not good. They're really only going to be able to do like a Hail Mary-ish play. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to get after the quarterback. And that's exactly what we do. Sam Darnold has to throw it away, and we win in the divisional round against the Minnesota Vikings. Jordan Love, 218, 3 touchdowns. Rushing, Josh Jacobs, 39, no touchdowns. Receiving, Tucker Kraft, he had a big day mostly because of us. Josh Jacobs, we also got a receiving touchdown too. Defensively, Edgerrin Cooper leading the team in tackles, no TFLs. A sack for Kenny Clark, and Isaiah McDuffie with the only interception. Well, now we have to take on Philadelphia. We're rated pretty equal to them. This is going to be a tough one. Let's see if we can hop in and win. All right, it's time for us to go to the end of the game against Philadelphia, as I would love for us to be able to pull out a win. So we are on the board first, but they are kind of taking the lead. All right. A minute 30 left. This is where we can come in. Oh, a minute left because the clock's going to just roll like that, huh? I'm smashing the button. Hit Jaden Reed. He doesn't quite get the first down. Call a timeout. This is how we can win the game. Do we have Dobbs in the back? Oh, he caught it. All right, now we are going to play the full game here. Want us to go for 2. We got a booth review here. All right, so it stands. This is what we're going to do for our 2-point, the old Packers slant. Christian Watson gets it. That makes it a 3-point game. They got to have a touchdown to win it. All right, now defense is coming. We want to keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket. We know they're throwing the ball. Oh, Devontae Smith is like that, huh? I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was that. We have got to get somebody to pressure Jalen Hurts. And we get a sack. Devontae Wyatt getting there first. 2nd and 21. We want to keep that up. We know a pass is coming. We got to keep him back here. Trying to swat it away. All right, a 3rd and 15. That was their last time out. I think as long as we kind of keep it in bounds here and don't let them get a chunk play, we'll be in a good spot. And Jalen Hurts is going to get sacked again. That's Rashawn Gary. Well, that's the end of the game anyway. It doesn't matter that he completed it to, I don't even know who that is. Uzaware? Oh well, we win. And Jordan Love, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns. Of course, the big one. Josh Jacobs got hurt, which is not great. 18 passing yards. Jaden Reed, 103 and a touchdown. Romeo Dubes, 44 and a touchdown. Of course, the one huge touchdown catch. Defensively, Quay Walker leading the team in tackles. A TFL for Gary Wyatt and Van Ness. And then a sack and a half for Van Ness, 1 for Gary and a half for Devontae Wyatt. No interceptions. And Josh Jacobs tore his labrum, so he will not be here for the Super Bowl. And before we get to who we're playing in the Super Bowl, let's take a quick look at these awards as no Jordan Love in the MVP running. Coach of the Year, Matt LaFleur at 5, staying disrespected. Offensive Player of the Year, Josh Jacobs at 6. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Xavier McKinney. Offensive Rookie of the Year, not on the list. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Edgerrin Cooper at 3. Best Quarterback, Jordan Love at 6. Best Running Back, Josh Jacobs at 2. Best Receiver, nobody on the list. Best Offensive Lineman, Elton Jenkins at 5. Zach Tom at 7. Best Defensive Line, nobody there. Best Linebacker, nobody there. Best Defensive Back, of course, going to Xavier McKinney. And Best Kicker, Brandon McManus at 3. I'm so glad we finally solved our kicker issues. Well, to take a look at our team and their depth traits, Josh Jacobs goes up to Superstar. So does Tucker Kraft, which is awesome. Nobody else moves. Didn't I bring... Okay, Jordan Morgan is going to get inserted back at right guard. And Marshawn Lloyd will be our starting back. Defensively, Xavier McKinney goes up to Superstar Dev. Devontae Wyatt goes up or McKinney goes up to superstar X Factor. Devontae Wyatt going up to superstar. Eric Stokes goes up to star. Quay Walker goes up to superstar. I guess we're just going to let it play Javon Bullard for the Super Bowl because we need our best team out there. I really like the way this team is looking. Hopefully Edgerrin Cooper can get his snap. He's not going to get his snaps. Really only 160? He's had to have had more than that. I will say Isaiah McDuffie does seem to see the field a lot. I don't know why. He sees it so much more than Edgerrin Cooper does. All right, well, here we are in New Orleans in the Super Bowl. Time to jump to the end of the game. Hopefully our defense can hold up. Our offense can score, hopefully. We have a 20-10 lead, 20-17. We're going to slow it down here with our 10-point lead as Buffalo is just going to move the ball right down the field. We do get a sack finally. A 4th and 3. They kick a field goal. Let's see what our offense can do. 6-yard rush. A huge sack. And a drop pass by Christian Watson. So they're going to punt it. This could work out for us. Depending on how much time. And we get the ball back. Our defense made a stop. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to come in here. We're going to try to get this first down. Kind of want Watson to clear out so Wicks can come in and get the first down. That's all we needed him to do. They call a timeout. We're going to go back to jump in the next play. Jordan Love's going to kneel it out. A 0-yard rush. Another knee, and that does it. The Green Bay Packers are again your Super Bowl champions. Jordan Love makes it happen. Jordan Love, 258, 3 touchdowns, an incredible Super Bowl. He's going to be the MVP. Marshawn Lloyd, not great receiving. Jaden Reed, 171 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. Defensively, Edgerrin Cooper leading the team with 10 tackles. A TFL for Rashawn Gary and Kenny Clark. A sack and a half for Devontae Wyatt. A half a sack for Quay Walker. And an interception for Edgerrin Cooper. Well, I never looked at our stats to see why we got certain dev traits. Jordan Love, 31 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Very similar to his first year starting, 3,500 yards. Malik Willis, of course, just jumping in, incredible. He's going to... I don't see how we keep him this offseason. I feel like there's going to be teams calling. Josh Jacobs, 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns, an incredible year. Receiving, Jaden Reed, 849, 7 touchdowns. Christian Watson with the lucky 7s and 3 touchdowns. Romeo Doubs, 700 yards, 6. Tucker Kraft with 9 receiving touchdowns. Defensively, Quay Walker led the team in tackles. That's why he got his dev trait. Also led the team in TFLs. Rashawn Gary, 8.5 sacks. Devontae Wyatt with 6. So I don't quite understand how he got the dev trait he did. Even Kiki or JJ Enigbare or Kingsley Enigbare, 4.5 sacks. Edgerrin Cooper with 3.5. I think that's his current stats. I don't think he got any more in Madden. Xavier McKinney, 8 interceptions, 2 for Jair, 1 for a pile of others. I do want to see what dev traits we maintained. And it looks like Jordan Morgan, of course, a star dev. Tucker Kraft and Josh Jacobs keep their dev traits. Defensively, Devontae Wyatt loses his. Rashawn Gary loses his. Evan Williams lost his. It's going to be so hard to make him a thing here in Madden. Well, we have a lot of players to re-sign here, and I think we'll just let Quay Walker's option go. Eric Stokes, You know, I find it hard to know whether or not Green Bay's going to bring him back. It just he doesn't want to be here, and they're not going to overpay him. In the game, that is. In real life, he might want to stay in Green Bay. Devontae Wyatt, we don't accept his 5th-year option, but we are going to pay attention to him. And a lot of these players, we don't really need to bring back. Not really concerned with it. Everybody else can go to the free agency. We may bring Eric Stokes back there because we are going to have to look at bringing a cornerback in, whether that's via the draft or the free agency. All right, well, the only position really is corner, and I think Isaiah Rodgers, he's 27 years old. He can be a place filler until we get a rookie in that's going to develop. Let's see if we can get him on the team, and he does sign. Oh, I do know what position I wanted to take a look at, and that was kicker. Yeah, Evan McPherson, you're coming with me. A star development kicker in Green Bay to take Brandon McManus's place, who in real life, I think McManus does get re-signed. I'm not doing it for Madden reasons, but in real life, McManus is probably going to get re-signed. Here we are in the draft. We have the 32nd pick. We're going to go ahead and get to it. Ooh, the Giants at pick 1 took Quinn Ewers instead of Shadur Sanders, who went to the Jets. And it's going to be Maxwell Harrison. B's across the board. We need as many corners as we can get. Welcome to the team. Ranked at 34, got him at 32. He is normal dev, but it's not a big deal. All right, we're going with another corner here in Kobe Bryant, because why not? Again, the more corners, the better. Another normal dev guy, but it's not a big deal. All right, here we're picking Nick Jackson, a right outside linebacker. But we're going to move him to left. He's a pass coverage guy. We're definitely going to use him a lot. A normal dev, but he's got the athleticism to kind of make a difference in this offense. Or defense. All right, picking up a center here in Josh Kreutz. Just kind of maybe somebody we can develop to take over the spot of our current guy. And a hidden dev, so our first hidden dev of the draft. All right, well, to take a look at our draft recap, of course, 2 70 overall corners, or 70 plus overall, a 70 overall left outside linebacker, a 69 overall hidden dev center. We got Katron Allen from Penn State. Well, this is what the team is looking like going into year 2. Of course, the offense pretty much stays the same outside of Kreutz almost being to a point where I'm thinking about starting him over Josh Myers. Of course, the weapons are still all the same. Most of the offensive line is the same. Defensively, Edgerrin Cooper is developing nicely. Quay Walker kept his dev trait. Nick Jackson, the rookie, hopefully he can have a really good year. We need our corners to do good. I don't see Isaiah Rodgers. Did he get hurt? Is he on IR already? I want to move, I think, Hairston to the 2 spot. Let Nixon stay in the slot. It's what the defensive line's looking like. It's not great. Kenny Clark progressed a lot. Devontae Wyatt hopefully can develop pretty good. Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness need to develop for a chance to stay on the team. And as we get to the mid-season, it's time to start focusing on some of these re-signings we need to do. And we do not have a lot of money. So we are going to have to really try and pick. We got to keep Zach Tom. Zach Tom stays. All right, well, it says we have negative $25 million right now. We're going to have to wait to the end of the year, and then we can revisit this. And ahead of this Bears game, we have a running back breakout. So Josh Jacobs, of course, and he has X Factor. He just gained it. That's awesome. It's kind of exactly what we wanted. As we're sitting at 4-2 and 86 overall, 88 offense, 84 defense. I'm assuming we still have trade offers for Sean Ryan. Holy cow, Jordan Love, 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Toyotathon hasn't kicked off yet. So y'all just wait for this second half of the year. Hopefully he looks a lot better. Rushing, Josh Jacobs, 557 yards, 9 rushing touchdowns. Receiving, Jaden Reed, 441 and 4. Christian Watson, 346 and 1. Romeo Doubs without a receiving touchdown. Same with Tucker Kraft and Josh Jacobs with 2 receiving touchdowns. Defensively, Edgerrin Cooper leading the way with tackles. Quay Walker with TFLs. Rashawn Gary and sacks. That's awesome. Kenny Clark with 2. Devontae Wyatt and Lucas Van Ness with 1 apiece. And a pile of interceptions. Somehow, Xavier McKinney has none, which probably very unlikely. And it benched Kreutz again, so he didn't get his dev trait shown. And he's a higher overall than Josh Myers, which is a bummer. It's moved our receivers around, but big whoop. Josh Jacobs playing up to a 97. That's awesome. Defensively, our Deep Harrison playing up to an 81 overall. So hopefully, maybe a rookie of the year, a dev trait for him. And what really looks great is the fact that we went 12-5 and we're the #1 seed. We get the bye. We win out the rest of the year. Let's take a look at these stats as we see Josh Jacobs as the second in leaders. See, wait till Toyotathon kicks on. At the midseason, Jordan Love had 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He finishes with 4,200, 41 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Josh Jacobs, 1,300 yards, 16 rushing touchdowns. Marshawn Lloyd with 4. Katron Allen with 2. Receiving, Jaden Reed, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Christian Watson, 1,009. Romeo Doubs, 900 yards and 11 touchdowns. Tucker Kraft with 7 touchdowns. We got to keep these guys together. Not worried about blocking. Defensively, Quay Walker leading the team in tackles. Rashawn Gary in TFLs. And Rashawn Gary with another. I just saw something right now at the corner of my eye. Just y'all hold a second. Rashawn Gary, another 8.5 sacks. Kenny Clark with 4. Lucas Van Ness with 3.5. 8 interceptions for Edgerrin Cooper and 119 interception yards. Please tell me somebody's got a touchdown. Nobody's got a touchdown. Bummer. 119 interception yards? That's insane. 3 interceptions for the rookie Maxwell Hairston. 3 for Jair Alexander, 2 for Javon Bullard, 1 for McKinney, and 1 for Keyshawn Nixon. And taking a look at the playoff bracket. I mean, this is a very similar playoff bracket to how this year's going to look. Although seeding is going to be very different. Detroit stomped Philadelphia in the first round. The Buccaneers took down the Commanders. The Vikings took down San Francisco. The Chiefs, of course, are going to beat the Patriots in the playoffs. Drake May, though. High hopes. The Texans beat the Bengals, and the Bills beat the Chargers. The Ravens are the 1 seed. Let's see who we can meet in the Super Bowl. It's time for us to try to get there. And, of course, we're going to stay hopping into these games because if we can go 5 Super Bowls in a row, that would be incredible. All right, we're going to the end of the game as we are on the board first, but Detroit answers back. 14-7, 14-14. We turn the ball over. Not a good look. 21-21, 24-21, 31-21, 31-24. How did it end? It ended with Green Bay getting the win, 31-24 over the Detroit Lions. And Jordan Love, 231 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Josh Jacobs with 55 yards and a touchdown. Romeo Doubs with a receiving touchdown. Josh Jacobs with a receiving touchdown. And Christian Watson with a receiving touchdown. Defensively, Quay Walker leading the team in tackles, 3 TFLs. A sack for Devontae Wyatt and Jair Alexander with the solo interception. And in the NFC Championship game, we have to take down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's see if we can do it and go to our 2nd straight Super Bowl. All right, let's go to the end of the game, see if we can pull out a win here as we are on the board first. Tampa Bay answers back, though, but we do too. 14-7. Can we keep it going? It doesn't seem as we can. 21-17. You know what? Give me the ball here. Let me take over. Oh, as they have burned all their timeouts, this looks like it's going to be a win for us. 21-17. Not super high scoring, but high scoring enough. Really doesn't matter if we score here. No timeouts, 38 seconds left. Just Madden isn't like real life where you just have the quirky, they can get the ball back on an onside kick. This is Madden, where unrealistic happens, but not like that. And that does it. That ends the game right there. We win the NFC Championship against Tampa Bay. Let's see how good of a day Jordan Love had. 251 and 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs with 76 rushing yards. Jordan Love with a rushing touchdown. Receiving, Jaden Reed and Josh Jacobs both with... Josh Jacobs had a 70-yard receiving touchdown. That is awesome. Defensively, Keyshawn Nixon... Well, Quay Walker led the team in tackles. No TFLs. One total sack split by Kenny Clark and Quay Walker, and no interceptions. Jordan Love goes to Superstar X Factor. We still don't know Krutz's, but he's up to a 78 overall. None of the receivers go up or down. None of the offensive linemen go up or down. Tucker Kraft stays the same. Defensively, Edgerrin Cooper doesn't go up. He won linebacker of the year. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter that he doesn't go up. Nick Jackson's playing well enough. The rest of the team's playing really good. Hairston doesn't go up. McKinney loses his Superstar X Factor, which is a bit concerning. Before we get to Super Bowl, we got to take a look at the award winners. And Jordan Love is at 5 in the MVP listings. Coach of the Year, Matt LaFleur at 3, getting snubbed again. Offensive Player of the Year going to Amon-Ra. Josh Jacobs at 5 and Jordan Love at 9. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Edgerrin Cooper. Offensive Rookie of the Year, we don't have anybody on the list. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Hairston at 6. Best quarterback goes to Jordan Love. Hopefully he gets a dev trait from that. Best running back, Josh Jacobs at 2. Best wide receiver, Romeo Doubs at 10. Best offensive lineman, we don't have anybody on the list. Best defensive lineman, nobody's on the list. Best linebacker, Edgerrin Cooper at 3. Now, how does he win Defensive Player of the Year but doesn't win Best Linebacker? Questions. Quay Walker at 9. Best defensive back, nobody on the list. Best kicker goes to Evan McPherson. All right, well, let's go to the end of the game. I just got a nice wave of energy as Caleb Williams threw a game-ending interception. We are up 10-0 against Houston currently. 10-7. Our offense is kind of stalled out. I'd like to get in here and make sure we finish this one off, as that was a boring game. That was a very boring game that we just got to witness. Chicago against Seattle. As Josh Jacobs not getting hit like that. I don't care. Call me crazy. He's not getting hit like that. He's not getting put on his back. That's not even Green Bay, like, come on now. Give me a break. No. Gotta go for it here. 4th and 6. As I'm gonna look for Christian Watson again, and he's probably gonna get... Nope, we got Tucker Kraft. He's got the first down. It's kind of a dirty hit there. Is that Kamari Lassiter? Yes, it is. All right, Josh Jacobs. Let's see what you can do to try to just burn this out as he gets caught from behind, which, again, probably isn't happening. That was a wide open hole. In real life, that's a touchdown. There we go, Josh Jacobs. Run over the safety, get into the end zone, make it a 10-point game. And they gave us the ball back. I guess I don't know what happened there. But we got the ball back. Time to burn their timeouts. There it is. And now we're just going to go ahead and sim it out. That is our second Super Bowl in a row for the Green Bay Packers, and Jordan Love is quite the underwhelming offensive game from these two. CJ Stroud with an interception, but 200 passing yards. Jordan Love, 151, 0 interceptions. Josh Jacobs, 60 yards and a rushing touchdown. Marshawn Lloyd with a rushing touchdown. Jaden Reed, 5 receptions, 55 yards. Defensively, Edgerrin Cooper leading the team in tackles. Rashawn Gary with 3 TFLs. A sack for Devontae Wyatt and a pick for Jair Alexander. Hit him with the seatbelt. He's still fantastic in this game. Well, 2 Super Bowls in a row, and Jordan Love still has yet to get the Super Bowl MVP. This one goes to Josh Jacobs. Well, Jordan Love keeps his. The receivers keep theirs. Krauts is just a star dev. Defensively, Devontae Wyatt does lose his dev trait. I can't believe Edgerrin Cooper didn't get one for linebacker of the year. That's the team right now. We look good. We need to kind of bring in a defensive tackle. I think we give Nick Jackson another year of development. He's playing up pretty good. Well, now we have $12 million. All right, well, we get Rasheed Walker to re-sign. We can't keep anybody else. Well, it looks like we only have money to bring back Christian Watson, so we're going to try to do that. And he does sign and stay with us. At least we get one of our receivers back. Puts us in a tough spot for next year as we still have more people to try to re-sign. We're going to keep our $7 million, roll it over. Let's get to the draft. All right, well, we're here at the draft, and we have 2 positions of need in mind. And really, we need to trade up to get one of them. All right, that does it. The 32nd pick for the 30th and a 4th, or vice versa, whatever. We get up enough. Let's try to go to that pick real quick and see. I hope our guy's still available. I'm trusting the draft, the mock draft. I just wanted to get ahead of the Texans, and he's still available. Brian Bennett, round 1 to 2 talent. We lost Romeo Doubs, so we need another receiver. Ranked at 34, got him at 30, and a normal dev. We're not really that early. We're pick 2 or pick 32 of the second round. This guy's a round 3 guy, but around 1 to 2 talent. We need defensive tackles. So we're going to go after Caleb Hendricks, another normal dev, but hopefully he's probably still going to start. All right, another defensive tackle here in Nicholas Savage, a round 2 to 3 guy, but at elite strength, 359 pounds. These are normally hidden dev like superstar players. He's only normal, but he's a brick wall. All right, this guy, Chase Spiegel, just because he's the fastest, he's a deep threat. Maybe a chance to the hidden dev. No, but he's fast and another receiver for the team. All right, well, to take a look at our draft recap, that's 3 good players, even though they're all normal devs. Even Spiegel, he's fast. He's going to be on a special teams player. But those 3 players I'm happy with. And before we get into year 3, this is what the roster's looking like. Of course, the offense, we lost Romeo Doubs. We were able to keep Christian Watson. Brought in Bennett in the draft. The offensive line looks incredible. No need to change anything up there. Tucker Kraft, unbelievable. Josh Jacobs, Jordan Love, all fantastic players. Defensively, we brought in Hendricks on the defensive line. Hopefully he can take over. Maybe win a Rookie of the Year and replace Devontae Wyatt without an issue. Rashawn Gary, Lucas Van Ness. The rest of the defense looks the same. We're winning Super Bowls, so we haven't been able to add any super fantastic talent, but we are we're still a really good team. And at the midseason, oh man, we have a lot of renegotiations and not a lot of money. This is terrible. Well, we got to keep these two guys. Tucker Kraft, you've got to stay. And now we don't have enough money for Jaden Reed. Well, we did some restructuring and it gives us negative cap. So we're going to have to hold out to the end of the year and hope that we can re-sign some of these guys and not just lose out on them. And we are 6-1, a 91 overall offense, 87 overall defense, 89 overall total. Let's see how this team is performing statistically. Jordan Love, 1,600 yards, 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, way better than last year at the midseason. Rushing, Josh Jacobs, 542 and 9 touchdowns. Receiving, Christian Watson, 538 and 5 touchdowns. Jaden Reed without a touchdown so far. Wicks with 3. The rookie with 2. Tucker Kraft with 3. Defensively, Edgerrin Cooper leading the team in tackles. Kenny Clark in TFLs and Kenny Clark in sacks as Rashawn Gary has started to fall off. Jair Alexander, 3 interceptions. McKinney with 1, Nixon with 1, and Edgerrin Cooper with 1 as well. Well, to end the year, we fall to 12-5. Not really sticking it out the last half of the year, but we still are the 2 seed. We have a wild card round match against Arizona, who we should have no issues with. Now, it looks like Josh Jacobs was the best running back in the league. As Jordan Love, 4,000 yards, 36 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Fantastic year. Rushing, Josh Jacobs, 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. Receiving, Christian Watson, 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns. Jaden Reed, 9-11 and 4. Don't really like that number. The rookie with 5, Tucker Kraft with 3, Wicks with 8. Defensively, Edgerrin Cooper leading the team in tackles. Kenny Clark in TFLs with Carl Brooks right behind him and Rashawn Gary following. Kenny Clark double-digit sacks, 3 from a couple others. Rashawn Gary really falling off, don't like that. And 5 interceptions from Jair Alexander, 101 receiving yards. No defensive touchdowns. That is a bummer. Edgerrin Cooper with 2, 1 for a pile of others. Are we going to try to make a three-peat happen? Well, you know we are. Let's go ahead and hop into this game. Hopefully, we shouldn't have an issue taking down the Arizona Cardinals. That's not what I wanted. It's not registering my click down there. I'm going to have to click it a couple times. So let's go to the end of the game. Hopefully, again, we don't have an issue with this Cardinals team as we are on the board first. 7-0, 14-0, 21-0, 21-7, 14-21, 28-14. Well, 21-28 does it. We take down the Cardinals as Jordan Love goes for 196 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Josh Jacobs, 40 yards and a touchdown receiving. Jaden Reed with 2 touchdowns. Christian Watson with 1 of his own. Defensively, Quay Walker leading the team in tackles, 4 TFLs, a sack for Kenny Clark, and an interception for Keyshawn Nixon. Well, it seems like we've had to play the Lions several times in the playoffs, and this is just one more time. Hopefully, we don't struggle at all. So let's go ahead and go to the end of the game as we take on Detroit at home. Nobody scores yet. We go up 7-0 in the first half. 3-7, 14-3, 17-3. That should do it, and it does. 17-11 is your final here in Lambeau as Green Bay wins the divisional round of the playoffs. Well, in the NFC Championship, we have to take on the number 1 seeded team in the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys. That really, we're 6 overall better than. So let's see if we can jump to the end of the game and take down Dallas. We'll hop in if we have to. We are on the board first. 14-0, 21-0. Oh, they can't score at all. And that does it as we shut out Dallas in the NFC Championship in Jerry World. Oh, Dak. That's terrible. Dak Prescott, 9 for 19 for 80 yards. Jordan Love, though, 16 for 19, 197 yards and 3 touchdowns. 64 rushing yards for Josh Jacobs. Jaden Reed leading, well, it's not really leading in anything. Dontavian Wicks, though, with 2 receiving touchdowns. Josh Jacobs with 1 as well. Edgerrin Cooper leading the team in tackles. Only 2 TFLs. No sacks, no interceptions, but a shutout. Well, as we take a look at the award winners, Jordan Love nowhere on the MVP list. Matt LaFleur at 5 for Coach of the Year, getting snubbed again. Christian Watson at 3 for Offensive Player of the Year, really? Josh Jacobs at 9. Defensive Player of the Year, Kenny Clark at 7. Offensive Rookie, Bennett at 4. Defensive Rookie, we're not on the list. Best Quarterback, Jordan Love is at 5. Best Running Back goes to Josh Jacobs. Best Receiver, Christian Watson at 3. Best Offensive Lineman goes to Elton Jenkins, who we need to try to re-sign. Best Defensive Line, Kenny Clark at 3. Best Linebacker, nobody on the list. Best Defensive Back, Jair Alexander at 4. Nobody else on the list. Best Kicker, Evan McPherson at 4. Well, we have to take on the 16-1 Cincinnati Bengals. We still have a better overall than them, but let's take a look at our team, see what kind of depth traits we got. As Christian Watson goes up, Elton Jenkins goes up. Anyway, the team's playing fantastic. Jordan Love almost playing up to a 99. Josh Jacobs is playing up to a 99. Defensively, Nick Jackson gets a dev trait. That is awesome. Nobody else really does. Everybody else kind of stays the same, but everybody's playing fantastic. Well, let's hop in here, see if we can win our 3rd Super Bowl in a row. And as we always do, we're going to go to the end of the game, see if we can take down this Cincinnati team as they score first. Seems they finally got their defense figured out. And they're pretty unstoppable on offense, but okay, we just took the lead with Josh Jacobs. We have a 5-point lead. Can we stop them? It looks like we do, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come in on offense. And I'm going to try to finish this one out. We're up by 5. Really nowhere to go there. I don't know how we didn't get a better block there. 3rd and 8. Tucker Kraft coming down with it, getting the first down. That's everything we wanted there. We're going to let this burn down a good ways, and I'll see y'all after the 2-minute warning. Never mind. Josh Jacobs housing this one. Going to the end zone. Expanding the lead. Breaking a huge run. All right, now we're coming out. We're going to watch the victory formation as we are winning our 3rd Super Bowl. They have 1 timeout. That's fine. Doesn't really matter that they got a timeout. Seems we still have the better defense. Jordan Love's going to kneel that. And that's going to be the end of the game. As I don't know why Madden does this, whatever. Zeros on the clock. We take down the Cincinnati Bengals. Green Bay wins their third Super Bowl in a row. Hopefully, I think that puts Jordan Love in the Hall of Fame immediately. And I'm looking at those stats, and I see a number 15 of 18, 178 yards, 4 passing touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, 141 yards and a touchdown. Partially, probably thanks to our 74-yard long rushing touchdown, his only. Receiving, Tucker Kraft with a touchdown. Josh Jacobs probably getting player of the game as he had 2 receiving touchdowns as well. And Cornelius Johnson with a receiving touchdown. Don't know who that is. Defensively, Edgerrin Cooper leading us in tackles, 2 TFLs, a sack for Kenny Clark, and a pick for Jair Alexander and Xavier McKinney. Well, we're really on just another trajectory as we have won 3 Super Bowls in a row. Josh Jacobs wins his 2nd Super Bowl MVP as a running back. Well, Christian Watson and Elton Jenkins both keep their dev traits. Our offensive line looks fantastic. I mean, our whole team looks awesome. Defensively, Nick Jackson keeps his dev trait. Our linebacker core looks good. Our defensive line, we still need a little bit of work on. But, I mean, we just pulled off a 3-peat. So what more can you ask for? Let's get to our off-season stuff as hopefully we have some money to re-sign some people. Well, we have $14 million, and obviously the most important is going to be Jaden Reed. And he's just not interested in signing. We are going to roll the dice. Hope we get a bump in the free agency. We're starting with just Jaden Reed. Hopefully we get him. Or we keep him. Let's take a look at who we can bring in. Potentially for not a lot of money. As we only have $7 million. Yeah, we're not going to be able to bring anybody in. We're just going to have to try to rebuild through the draft. That's 3 huge players we lost, and you see our overall dip down to an 85 just from that. All right, well, here we are at the draft, and we have some needs to address in the first one. Man, all of our players are gone. Our first one's going to be a power rusher right end. He doesn't look fantastic, but we need somebody. We lost Lucas Van Ness. And he's normal dev, which is terrible. All right, another defensive tackle, and Adrian Tucker. Somebody that looks interesting. Got him a little early, but hey, hidden dev. That's all that matters. All right, Jerry Fletcher looks kind of like the best corner on the board, even though he's a poor speed guy. Yeah, we've just lost a lot this year. Well, we're going to end that draft there. Having the 32nd pick in each round is tough. And taking a look at our draft recap, you know, the first 2 players weren't terrible. Everything after that was just meh. Well, going into year 4, this is what our team's looking like offensively. We're really struggling at that left guard spot. We didn't draft one. I kind of just forgot to, and I really regret that. But the rest of our offense looks fantastic. Defensively, Quay Walker's hurt, but outside of that, we still look good. The corner spot, we could use some help in. But we're just going to have to roll with those guys. The 2 players we drafted. They've developed decently. Hopefully they can take over and produce. And at the midseason, we're finally at a spot where we have decent money. And, you know, we only have a couple more years of this. So let's just try to keep Josh Jacobs around. We'll be able to keep him. Edgerrin Cooper needs to stay. And he's still not going to. What about Xavier McKinney? Okay, he stays. Javon Bullard can stay. And we're 3-3, which is not a great look. See how the team's playing. I didn't think we went that bad. Jordan Love, 1,300 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Josh Jacobs, 431 and 3 touchdowns. Receiving, Jaden Reed, 501, 5 touchdowns. Brian Bennett with 6 touchdowns. Christian Watson with 6 touchdowns. Defensively, Edgerrin Cooper leading the way in tackles. Kenny Clark in TFLs and Kenny Clark in sacks. Rashawn Gary not too far behind him. No interceptions on the year. Oh, this is tough. Oh, Jordan Love's hurt. That is why we're not winning games. All right, well, we got Edgerrin Cooper. Josh Jacobs not quite yet. I would like to keep these two guys, but I'm going to try to get Josh Jacobs and then renegotiate. Well, we have more money. Hopefully we can... Yeah, we can't even franchise tag anybody. It's time to try and restructure some contracts to get more money. And in year 4, even though we had a very good overall team, somehow we go 8-9 and just missed the playoffs. And Jordan Love, 3,700 yards, 34 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Of course, did miss some time. That's why Gary Dornan got some time, and he didn't really play bad. Josh Jacobs, 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. Receiving, Jaden Reed, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. Christian Watson, 960 and 11 touchdowns. Brian Bennett, 807 and 12 touchdowns. Defensively, Edgerrin Cooper leading the team in tackles. Kenny Clark in TFLs and Kenny Clark in sacks. You know what? Rashawn Gary we may just let go. Edgerrin Cooper leading the team in interceptions. Evan Williams right behind him with 2. Nick Jackson with 1. Kobe Bryant with 1. And Xavier McKinney with 1. And to go over the award winners, of course, Jordan Love not in the top 10 for MVP. We're not in the top 10 for Coach of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year, Jaden Reed at 6. Defensive Player of the Year, Edgerrin Cooper at 2. Offensive Rookie, nobody on the list. Defensive Rookie, nobody on the... Means at 10. Best Quarterback, Jordan Love at 8. Best Running Back, Josh Jacobs at 3. Best Wide Receiver, Jaden Reed at 4. Best Offensive Lineman, not on the list. Best Defensive Lineman, Kenny Clark at 8. Best Linebacker, Edgerrin Cooper at 3. Best Defensive Back, not on the list. Best Kicker, McPherson at 8. And the Cincinnati Bengals get their first Super Bowl. This would technically be their 3rd visit, beating the Washington Commanders. Well, we franchise tag Josh Jacobs. We can't re-sign Rashawn Gary, and I'm not really too worried about it. We're probably going to try to replace him in the draft as he has not been doing too well. All right, we're just going after Cole Strange and Kenny Moore. Just some older veteran players. We get Kenny Moore. We don't get Cole Strange. So we're really going to have to focus guards in this next draft. All right, well, here we are in the draft. And, well, we got to trade up to number 1. You know what? We're just going to have to give up that 2nd. That does it. We get the 1st overall pick. We're going to have to trade back up into the 2nd, and we will figure that out. But Stephon Batch is coming to Green Bay. A top 5 talent in the draft. A pass rusher. We really need him. Hidden dev. Welcome to Green Bay. All right, 3/3, 3/4. Get back into the 2nd round. That running back is top 5. Oh, man, that's tough. But we need Brett Bush. We're going to turn him into a guard. He's agile. He is a 1 to 2 round talent. And he's hidden dev. Probably going at right guard. All right, a player 2/5 and a 7th to move up into the 3rd round with Arizona. All right, Keon Cousins looks pretty good. In the 3rd round, we traded back up to get him. Let's go ahead and take a right guard. Another hidden dev player. We've fixed the offensive line immediately. And taking a look at the draft recap, Well, we're right on the edge of being a Super Bowl team again now, and we added Stephon Batch, Brett Bush, and Keon Cousins. We fixed our offensive line. Well, this is the lineup going into the final year of the rebuild. We're not going to do a 6-year. We've already won 3 Super Bowls. 3 Super Bowls in 5 years is plenty. Jordan Love playing great. Josh Jacobs finally starting to regress. The offensive line is going to develop nicely. Defensively, the defensive line needs some help. I don't know why it did this. As the D line doesn't look terrible. 2 high 8 or an 80 overall and a high 70s overall player. Linebacker core is great. Safety group is great. The corners are good enough for the time being. And well, we're going to look at everybody that we have to renegotiate with, like Jordan Love, our center, our right tackle, our left tackle, Nick Jackson, the corners, Josh Jacobs, a ton of people to re-sign. And we're 6-0 currently. I would assume we're the number 1 seed. See what these stats are looking like. We've got to be playing on top of it as Jordan Love, 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 75% completion percentage. Josh Jacobs, 470 yards, 5 touchdowns. Receiving, Brian Bennett, 505, 7 touchdowns. Jaden Reed, 411 and 4 touchdowns. Defensively, Kenny Moore is leading the team in tackles. Ezekiel Means in TFLs. Nick Jackson in sacks. He's not even a pass rusher. So we've fallen off the sack train. 2 interceptions for Kenny Moore, 1 for Quay Walker, and 1 for Maxwell Harrison. Well, let's see if we know any of our dev traits yet. Bush is a star dev. We don't know Cousins yet. Defensively, Batch is a superstar dev. Well, let's keep on riding this into the playoffs, see if we make it, which hopefully we do. And we do make it into the playoffs. We are the 2 seed, but we're still 13-4. We have played great this year. As I want to check dev traits again real quick. Okay, Cousins, we found out he is an 82 overall. Jordan Love playing up to a 99 overall. I mean, this team's playing great. Looks great. Especially on offense. Defensively, you know, we could use some help as... Why did that happen? So Madden just does stuff sometimes, and it makes no sense. Linebacker core, of course, looking great. Safeties, cornerbacks, everything still just looks great. And in year 5, Jordan Love, 4,500 yards, 50 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Josh Jacobs, 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns. Jordan Love, 53 total touchdowns. Brian Bennett, 1,300 yards, 19 touchdowns. Jaden Reed, 1,113. Christian Watson, 8-11. Tucker Kraft, 6-6. Defensively, Edgerrin Cooper leading the team in tackles. Nicholas Savage in TFLs. And Caleb Hendricks in sacks, as it seems. Stephon Batch didn't get another sack for the second half of the year. Kenny Moore leading the team in interceptions. Maxwell Harrison with 3. Buller with 2, McKinney with 2, 1 for Walker, Cooper, and Kobe Bryant. Well, let's hop into this wild card game, see if we can take down the 8-9 New York Giants. Well, we're going to do like we always do, go to the end of the game, hop in if we have to, as New York is on the board first. I would like us to score some, please. 6-10, 6-13, 20-6. Can we just get a stop, please? A 2nd and 2. Quinn Ewers seems to be marching them down the field. And they're going to get the first down there. That's ridiculous. We kind of got to force a turnover here, but they're in a run-only mode. I haven't forced a completion this entire rebuild. And we get the interception with Edgerrin Cooper. This is going to give us the opportunity to win the game. We have all 3 timeouts, so we don't really need to rush. No, he was down. He was down. There's no way. You're going to give me that on the first play? And Zach Tom gets hurt, which is not good at all. Just get the first down with Jordan Love. Get pushed out of bounds by Brian Burns. Still on the Giants here. I feel like we're... As we hit Jaden Reed. He seems so slow right there. Is he that slow? If you can give me a touchdown with less than 5 seconds or less than 10 seconds on the clock, I will feel really confident. As we hit Christian Watson for another big gain down to the 26. We're just going to keep on going. Let the clock tick. As Bennett's going to get down to 2nd and inches. All right, under a minute left on the clock. Jaden Reed gets down to the 5-yard line. 27 seconds left. And Christian Watson's going to go in. 22 seconds left. That makes me feel really good about this. Kick is up and good. That gives us a 1-point lead here at home. I've tried to kick a touchback several times in this. I have yet to kick a touchback. All right, 19 seconds left. They don't really have to go far. But all we have to do is prevent them from moving the ball at all. And we're not going to do that. They've got to throw the ball. 12 seconds left. They got a timeout. All right, we're going to press here. We know a pass is coming. They're going to heave one up. 1 second left on the clock. They got to go back to Hail Mary. They had 8 seconds left. They could have easily not done that. All they needed was like 5 yards and... And it's knocked away. 0's on the clock. We have the lead. That gives us the wild card win. A close one here against the New York Giants. Hitting buttons I'm not meaning to hit. Let's go to player stats. Jordan Love, 160 yards and a touchdown. I think we threw the only touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown. Christian Watson, 51 receiving yards and a touchdown. Jaden Reed with 55. Bennett with 44. Edgerrin Cooper leading us in tackles. 4 TFLs. A sack for Stephon Batch. A sack for Nicholas Savage. And an interception for Edgerrin Cooper. Well, another team we have the overall on. It's a 3-point overall favorite on the Seattle Seahawks. A game at Lambeau Field. Let's hop into it. Well, we're in the divisional round here against Seattle. Let's see if we can take them down. They do score quick. We put up 3. Can our offense do anything? We're going to hop in on offense here to end the second quarter to try and see if we can get something going and get some points on the board. As we do get a catch and a first down there out of Bennett. I didn't really like the play there, but Bennett got open, so that's all that matters. I don't feel like that's what I hit, but we'll let it be what happened. as Jordan Love's going to run for a first down. Even if we can tie this here, that's perfectly fine by me. But we're going to hit Tucker Kraft, who's going to have a big gain and get down at the 1. We'll call our last timeout. As much as I'd love to just punch it in with Josh Jacobs here, you kind of got to throw the ball. Just throw that away. We don't want to lose yards, and we don't want to get tackled for a loss. Or tackled and not score. So we are going to try to throw it again. This time we will run it in with Jordan Love. Give ourselves the lead with 2 seconds left on the clock. We're going to just start skipping moments. I'd love for us to do something. We're not. Why my game's so laggy? Try to do a little clear out. But we're going to be able to hit Bennett in the seam. Find the hole. It's a little bit of a hospital throw there, but you know. 5 minutes left. We have a 1-point lead. Josh Jacobs. The age is getting to him as he gets chased down. But a nice gain down to the 28. Oh, running a man over and running into the end zone. I take my words back. All right, only reason I'm hopping in here is because we're on the 1-yard line, and this screams safety to me. As we do get a gain of a yard there. I'm going to try a little play action here. Just hit Tucker Kraft. Get a 3rd and 1. Get out of the end zone. And move it along. Go back to the play action here. I know on 3rd and 1 they should be expecting the run. We're going to hit Bennett. A heck of a first-round draft pick a couple years ago. And we're probably just going to run this down, so we'll see y'all on the other side. Well, we're on the other side of 2-minute warning. We got a 3rd and 5 here. We're just going to try to get the first. As Tucker Kraft is going to do so. We're just wasting their timeouts. Well, that should do it. To end the game, maybe. Oh, we went for it on 4th and 1. Wow, that's ballsy. Never seen Madden Computer do that, but we win the divisional round against Seattle, 17-9. It was a close one for sure. Jordan Love, 14 for 20, 220 yards, no touchdowns. Josh Jacobs with a rushing touchdown. Jordan Love with a rushing touchdown. Receiving, Bennett kind of led the way. Well, Tucker Kraft led the way, but Bennett was right there as far as the receivers go with 80 yards. Christian Watson with 50. Defensively, Nick Jackson leading the way in tackles. A lot of TFLs, actually. 6, to be precise. A sack for Nick Jackson. No interceptions. And in the NFC Championship, we have to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. We do have the overall on them, though. This shouldn't be the same Eagles team we played so long ago. All right, time to go to the end of the game here. We are on the board first, but Philly answers back. We don't seem to be able to finish in the red zone. I'm going for a touchdown here. We don't need another field goal. And that gives us 1 second left on the clock. As I really thought Tucker Kraft came down with that there. We'll probably go back to him. And we do, and he catches it. That's exactly what we needed. Try to tie this game up. Oh, we just kicked the extra point there. Well, they are moving the ball down the field as easy as they want to. Let's see if we can kind of try to do the same, as we are moving the ball, but it is not in chunks like they are. We're starting to get some. Oh no. This is where all of it goes bad. A 2nd and 17 is exactly where the computer will ruin this for us, so we're going to hop in and make a completion to Jaden Reed. And we're just going to go ahead and finish this drive out. Get us this touchdown, a 2-point conversion. As roughing the passer, that's probably going to be, we're going to decline that so we give them the yards. Now we're going to hand the ball off to Truman here. Hopefully he can get a yard. He cannot. Zach Bond is still on the Eagles. All right, well, we only need our defense to come up with one stop here, as I feel confident in our ability to score, even though we keep trying to run it, even though we don't have Josh Jacobs. All right, I don't think Jaden Reed's going to be open here. But Tucker Kraft is our trusty tight end. All right, let's take it slow again. We got the 2-point that time. It's a tie game. And they just, Kyron Lacey, tearing us up this game. They kicked a field goal there. All right, well, this is our time. This is our chance. We got to end it here. We have to get our touchdown with no time left, as Christian Watson's going to get to a 2nd and inches. Here we're going to go to the screen play on 2nd and inches. It's really time for us to take a shot, but we're just going to take our screen. Looks like Jordan Love got hit. Yep, another personal foul. We're going to accept that just because it puts us closer. I'm not really going to try to move the ball outside of that. Like I said, I really want to burn this clock down, which I'm not even in chew clock, and it's burning like it's in chew clock. So we'll take off with Jordan Love, get down to the 14-yard line. Let the clock continue to burn. Hit Tucker Kraft for a nice gain. 2nd and 2. Oh, there's not a lot of time left. So we're going to call a timeout here. 12 seconds. We've got to score a touchdown here. And we hit Tucker Kraft. He's in the end zone. 10 seconds left on the clock. And we're coming in for the full game here. Well, 5 seconds left. We know they're going for a Hail Mary. Knock that away. That's zeros on the clock. And that's a win. for your Green Bay Packers in the national championship. Going to our 4th Super Bowl. Jordan Love, 231 yards, 3 touchdowns. Katron Allen, 28 rushing yards. Receiving, Tucker Kraft, 73 yards, all 3 touchdowns. May have been by us. Who cares? Defensively, Adrian Cooper leading the way. Only 1 TFL for Ezekiel Mims. No sacks, no interceptions. Well, in our yearly awards, Jordan Love finishes highest he has yet at 3 for the MVP race. Matt LaFleur still at 2 for Coach of the Year. Brian Bennett winning Offensive Player of the Year. Jordan Love at the 3 spot. Defensive Player of the Year, nobody on the list. Offensive Rookie, don't have anybody there. Defensive Rookie, do we? We do not. Best quarterback goes to Jordan Love. Best running back, Josh Jacobs at 4. Best wide receiver goes to Brian Bennett. Jaden Reed at 6. Best offensive lineman, Bush at 4 and Cousins at 5. Both rookies. Best defensive lineman, not on the list. Best linebacker, not on the list. Best defensive back, Kenny Moore at 4 is actually surprising. And Will Kruger, the kicker, at 2 for best kicker. Well, we have a repeat of Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl we won against the Buffalo Bills. Time to hop in. Make sure we win this, and this will be Super Bowl 4 out of 5. Well, let's hop into the end of the game. Here in the Super Bowl against Buffaloes, we're on the board first, but they do answer back. And we need to take a lead here, 17-10. Can we keep it up 20-10, 20-17? And it looks like that does it as we win our 4th Super Bowl. Josh Allen can't catch a break. Jordan Love gets his 4th ring. Incredible out of our team. And Jordan Love, 17 for 20, 197 and a touchdown. That's a clean game of football. Josh Jacobs, 50 rushing yards. Jordan Love with a rushing touchdown as well. Receiving, Tucker Kraft, 41 yards and a receiving touchdown. Defensively, Nick Jackson leading the way in tackles. 2 TFLs, 1 for Ezekiel Means and 1 for Caleb Hendricks. A sack for Caleb Hendricks, a sack for Nicholas Savage, and a half sack for Nick Jackson and Stephon Batch. 0 interceptions. Well, Jordan Love finally gets a Super Bowl MVP, and just to reassure y'all, last year's the only year we didn't win, 2027. Brian Bennett, did he lose dev trait? All he gained was star from that? He won like Offensive Player of the Year and Best Wide Receiver, and all he went up to was star. But he's a 90 overall. Jaden Reed's playing really well. Defensively, I mean, our defensive line isn't great. Batch, the rookie, probably, I'm surprised he didn't lose his dev trait. Adrian Cooper, all Green Bay fans would love the fact that he has developed fantastically. And Hairston, who we drafted, did gain a dev trait. McKinney playing up to a 98 overall. Bullard up to a 90. This team just, it's fantastic. It was an easy rebuild. I didn't have to do a whole lot to win 4 Super Bowls in 5 years. So if you want to have a lot of success and play with a lot of young players, I mean, currently they're the youngest team in the league. So really all that's difficult is managing the cap numbers and who you re-sign. And if you want to trade up more, you can really add some pieces to this team, but they're so young as is. I mean, Nick Jackson even has looked incredible. It's fantastic. And as always, folks, that's how we're going to end it. Be sure to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Even hit the notifications button so you get notified when I post a new video. Let me know down in the comments below if there's a team you want to see rebuilt. And until then, y'all have a good one.